Wicka wicka wow.
And we're live.
Wild Wild West.
Don't even get me started on the Wild Wild West.
Jim West.
Desperado. No, I can't.
We can't sing it like Christopher, that's for sure.
No, we're not allowed to.
Hi. This is, if you're here, you know where you're at, but, oh goodness, sorry.
I heard my voice.
This is Talk Comics to Me. I'm Champenstein.
And I am a mess. Do you see these bangs? They're dirty.
This is my grand best friend.
Let me just try to separate the grease here, make it look better.
Mejor amiga.
And now I'm Dwight Schrute.
Heather Hadfield.
God damn it. Okay. The bangs were a bad idea.
So we have a lot of comics. We've gotten off some giant topics with each other, but we're here to do this. I don't think we can talk about anything else besides comic books today.
Yeah, we're just going to blast right through this because this right here is about a good 2 hours worth of work, and we're not going to subject you to that. So we're going to try to cut it down to an hour 45. 15 minutes of no nonsense.
We'll do our best.
All right.
Very little plot talk.
Okay, so I will obviously go first since I am the starter.
You are the starter.
This is Thor and Loki Double Trouble. This is a cute little kid's book. It's just classic Thor and Loki just doing what they do. Loki being like, hey, Thor, I dare you to do this. And Thor's like, no, I'm not stupid, but I'll do it anyway.
I get that.
Yeah, it's super cute, but basically in this, Loki convinces him to go into Odin's vault to steal a weapon because he can't do it. He's too scared, is how Loki gets him to do it, because Thor's like, no, I'm not scared, I'm doing it. So he goes down there, gets the weapon that he wants, and then Loki is like, tight, I'm gonna toot this horn, and he does, and it brings out a friggin' serpent.
Cool.
So it's just Loki getting into all kinds of mischief,
I'm gonna toot this horn.
But it's just like, my favorite thing about this is the art, because
the art is great.
It's very much a kid's book, but as I say pretty much every episode, I love facial expressions, and they just do not disappoint in this. Like, it's just so good.
Yeah.
This is only going to be 4 issues, so I would say if you do like these characters, then do read it, because it is just... It was very lighthearted, and I needed it after the last couple weeks that I've had. It made me laugh, and it made me cry because I was laughing, not because I was sad.
I mean, even if you're sad, it's chill.
But not in this case. I was actually, very happy to read it, and the tears that came had nothing to do with my sadness. It just had all to do with just
your happiness.
Being quite an enjoyable book.
All right.
That's all I got.
Okay, so I have the Antifa Super Soldier Cookbook.
Is it anything, I know it's probably not, but is it anything like the Anarchist Cookbook where it gives you all the recipes to pretty much take down the United States?
No, nothing like that, unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
But it is just kind of a little take on what the right thinks about the left via, I guess, a left perspective almost. Talks about just, shitty things that cops do. There is an interesting little part where the cops are talking about having to keep people overnight in jail because they missed an arraignment period, which just reminded me of that protest in July where all of those 120 protesters got arrested here in Omaha, caged in and arrested, and then all taken into just a COVID stinking jail, and just so many atrocities, and then
the war crimes that police get away with.
Yeah, just stupid, obviously I don't need to go into that because I could spend all day or a whole podcast on that. But yeah, I had a lot of fun. Just literally made me giggle in parts. Just silly things that police think, and just kind of what right-wingers think about who Antifa are.
I love when leftists do their version of what right people think of the left. It's always really funny to me because while it is kind of accurate, it's just exaggerated
Well,
intensely.
Yeah, and it's just like they lean very much into those exaggerations and that idea, like once again, the super soldier and just what they stand for, like what the meetings are like. I like the art was a lot of fun. The colors were really great. Like I said, it's just like it was a really quick read, but it was just a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it.
It is a silver sprocket book.
Yeah,
too.
a silver sprocket book, and like once again, every single one of those books have been just like solid as hell. Mm-hmm. I love all of them. It's like anytime I see a silver sprocket book, I try to pick it up for the most part, unless it's something that I just don't think I'll enjoy, or if it's something I miss, I guess.
Yeah, I've been trying to get more.
Yeah, we're recording, so of course he's gonna eat food.
Bro, one piece at a time.
Yeah.
What's up, Auntie? Yeah, I've been trying to pick them up too because the last few that I've gotten, I have really enjoyed, and I don't remember why. I probably knew that. I was like, oh, that's going to come out in a week when I'm just loaded with books. So I probably I can see the future clearly, and I just knew that I wouldn't be able to just get it.
Yeah.
That was why I skipped out on this one, guys. It wasn't because I didn't see it.
I don't know. Like we had this conversation before. I'll just segue into this really fast. It's just like I think online previews is a little bit harder to traverse than like a physical previews book. I don't know why that is.
Because it would seem like the website would make more sense because it's like separated where you can click into it and look. But yeah, no, I agree. For some reason, like I have a really hard time. I think it's the way that they separate the other comics and graphic novels because like if they still did it by publisher, like within there, it would make more sense to me. But because they don't, I just like I do miss a lot of things that I should have gotten.
And that's definitely happened to me before. Like somebody had this conversation recently too. It's
with
just
I Breathe the Body.
Yeah.
Like that's stuff like that where it's just more complicated than it needs to be, and I don't understand why.
Yeah, and that's why I spend at least, I would say 45 minutes to an hour, if not longer, looking through online previews when the new solicits come out, just because I have missed stuff. Oh my god, are you serious? No.
She turned around so fast. That's so good.
Because I have missed so many things, and I don't want to do it anymore. I don't want to. My animals are out of control. There has to be at least like one day out of a 6-month period where they're both just.
It's the perfect
extra.
storm. We've got tons of books, and the animals are like, attention.
So yeah, I think there has to be a better way to like set up previews where it's not like you're sifting through just like so many things to find what you really want to find. I've
even ended up going back like several times. Like I just thought about this now. I have a list on my phone of ones that I'd noticed when I was at work going through it that I need to go like add or like look at again. So yeah, there's got to be an easier way.
I mean, they just need to separate like Aftershock, Vault, like all of those books, and then even these like can be like. There can be like a more small indie section too within. But whatever, I'm not a website developer. I don't work at previews.com.
Previews.com, if you're looking to hire, we can give you some tips.
But we can't build a website, so joke's on you.
I took a website building class my senior year of high school, first quarter, so I can tell you how to do basic HTML, which I also learned through MySpace. So, you want to hide those comments? Got you. I can do that.
Okay, so the next book we have is Carmen. This is issue number 1. This is by Guillaume March.
Guillaume?
Guillaume?
Yes.
And art's great.
Yeah, the art is fantastic, and the idea of the story is really cool, too.
So I'm going to read our what we came up with earlier, which was Pee Wee Herman plus Drop Dead Fred meets Death.
Yes.
Ignore our other host.
So the story is about a woman named Catalina, who is her best friend. I don't know how to pronounce his name.
I forgot.
It's
Xavier?
Zisco?
Cisco?
I don't know. I've never seen that name before.
Cisco.
Yeah.
Cisco.
They've been, best friends since they were children, and as they get older, he's trying to kind of separate from the friendship that they have. I don't want to like spoil it necessarily, but there is a death-like Grim Reaper essentially.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, I'd say it's worth kind of like just like a little bit of a trigger warning. There's definitely suicide in here.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. I was not expecting that turn of it. Like, I didn't know that had happened. But anyway,
I was actually prepared for that, so it didn't. And I'm glad I actually was, because Wendy had told me, like, oh yeah, I looked more into it, and this is what it's about. So I was glad for that warning about.
Kind of fucked me up a little bit. I was not ready for it. But yeah, Carmen is essentially a Grim Reaper, and she is showing Catalina life in between life and death. Mm-hmm. So it's really silly. The Grim Reaper character is just like a child.
Yeah.
Is what, I don't know, very childlike mentality while still being this full-grown skeleton. But yeah, it's, I enjoyed it. It was just, the wording sometimes was kind of weird, which I feel like we had discussed
I felt
that.
like it was like kind of a little bit of a translation thing,
Yeah.
for sure.
But
yeah, no, it was good. The art was great.
Yeah, I absolutely love the colors in it, like the pastel and stuff. I thought it was beautiful. That's what made me want to get it to begin with. I had seen like I think just the variant cover is what I had, or the cover B. Yeah. I had seen it and was like, oh, cool. And then read about it and I was like, I think I just special ordered that first one.
Yeah, I believe you.
I think I'm going to have to add it because I do want to see how the story like progresses, because what is the friend going to do when he finds out? Because they've been best friends since they were children, and it's just...
Yeah, I special ordered the second one because I'm just interested. The tone was very strange. Mm-hmm. And I think that was like a big problem with me, is just because it felt really silly at the same time, where it's just like, I don't feel like I was making light of suicide by any means.
But it wasn't taking it seriously.
Yeah.
No, I get that 100%. That's why that's why I wasn't ready for it, is, I don't know.
It's just like not, the tone was off. Mm-hmm. And I do really think it might have been just like a translation issue, or if it might just be like something that, like, I suppose as well, like, this has the ability to definitely like sway into a way that's like very intense.
Buttholes on camera, girl.
Dude.
And it's like what we talked about with, why can I never remember the name of that comic now? The Gabriel bought one.
Oh, Day Tripper?
Day Tripper, yes. Death and stuff is dealt with differently in different countries and stuff. So who knows? Like, not saying that people don't take suicide in the same way, but like the way that they deal with handling the situation could be different. I don't know.
No, that's not wrong.
So I don't know. Again, it is a very, very mature book. There's also like nudity and like boogers and stuff in it. So not that nudity and boogers and suicide are all on like the same line, but that's just there. Farts are mentioned several times.
Farts are mentioned a lot.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised by that, because farts are always funny to me.
I mean, sure.
I don't care who you are. Farts are funny.
I'm sorry.
But not in...
Yeah, farts are funny. But yeah, I was just like off-put a little bit.
It was, because it's like, you had to mention it 3 times within 2 pages? Like, we get it, girl, you fart. But you're also dead, so it can't smell good.
Yeah.
It's just dust. Anyway, we're just gonna go.
Yeah.
I don't like talking about suicide, so this is God of War, Fallen God. I did not finish this one, so I'm not quite sure exactly what is happening, but Kratos is going on a trip. I say that as if it's a choice. He's trying to escape his destiny, pretty much. Bad things keep following him, and he's just trying to like get away from it, but no matter where he goes, something catches up to him. I don't know. I really enjoyed one of the games. I cannot remember which one it was that I had played. I had so much fun with it, though. But it was one of the newer ones, like that came out a few years ago. I can't remember what the name was.
I can't help you with that one.
But that's why I read it, because I just really like that game. And I really did enjoy the story so far. I just, again, haven't finished it. I thought the art was really cool. It reminded me a lot of the game. So, it's tight. Plus, I just really like comic books based off of video games.
I always seem to have a tendency for those.
Yeah, I always have a lot of fun with them, especially video games that I like because I like the little stories that weren't a part of the game to begin with.
Lore.
Yeah,
lore.
yeah. And that there are, I don't know, I love games that have that extra lore that you could, like, create other stories from. So it's always really fun for me.
Okay. I have Daredevil. This is issue number 28. I actually didn't read The King in Black 26 and 27. We didn't have enough of 26. They came in damaged or...
Right, okay.
And then...
You never got yours?
No. And then 27...
You can't
I just didn't read it. So then I was like, whatever, I'm just gonna read 28. I don't care. And it filled in all the blanks. So
okay.
I got a good idea of what happened in the King Black tie-in.
I love when books do that.
And also, I really, honestly, after reading what happened, I don't know. Like, I probably will go back and read them, but it just seems like something I don't know.
It's not necessary. Yeah.
It does, like, kind of tie into the story a little bit, but I do... Like, this book is so good. I just really like... excuse me. Kind of the delve into why Matt is in prison, and this particular issue was interesting to me just because he's visiting a psychiatrist and she's like really kind of delving into like, you know, why people come to prison and why people go to her, and just injustice a lot is mentioned in this particular issue, which especially with in the prison system is like very important, especially to myself personally.
Champ wants to abolish it.
And I feel like anybody should feel very strongly about prisons because they don't work. So...
No, I think they need to, I don't know, revert back to what they were made for originally, which is rehabilitation.
Well, I mean, yes. I mean, that's
I don't think keeping prisoners is like an ideal thing. I think taking someone and helping them is what needs to be
100%,
done.
and that's not what prisons do.
Right, no, not at all.
Anyway.
Yeah, sorry, we don't want to get on that. That'll take another 2 hours.
Yeah, if you ever want to talk to us about that, you know, just send us an email.
I have a lot of hard opinions that you won't agree with, so go to Champ for that. Because I also just like to say things to see how people react.
I have a lot of facts to back up the things I've learned all of this. But yeah, I really just like kind of like that delve and that look. The art in this book is so good.
Is it the same?
Yeah.
Cicchetto?
Yeah, Marco Cicchetto.
Yeah.
And then Matthew Wilson does the... No.
No? I did a thumbs up for no reason then.
Well, I'm sorry. It just said the cover artist, so... Sorry. Marcio Menes
Okay.
is the color artist. And the colors in this book are really, like, really good, too.
I like that green a lot.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
It's such a good book. The hair, the facial expressions, everything in this book is really great. Chip's story is very wonderful.
Our best friend Chip.
Our best friend Chip.
We can say that because it's true.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Once again. I really like... Why? I never thought I would enjoy like a Daredevil book this much. Honestly, like, ever. Because I've read other Daredevil stories, and it's just like Daredevil's an enjoyable character, but I really like this delve that he's doing into this character and the things he's like Chip's saying, and I don't know, Chip's just like a very solid writer.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of Chip,
yes.
So we both have Batman Urban Legends, and this was, I personally thought, fantastic. There are 4 stories in there, and the first one is done by Chip.
Little Red Hood story.
Yeah.
Which was...
Little Red Hood.
A Little Red Hood.
That's good.
It was really good, too.
Yeah, I knew it was going to be good, like the first one, especially when I was reading it, but by the time I finished it, I was like, damn, Chip, that was, like, really good.
Especially, like, I mean, I know that character a decent amount.
Yeah.
But it just was just like, oh.
I've never really cared to like read.
Yeah, it's
Red
like,
Hood.
Damn, dude. I feel all of these things.
Yeah, it was Red Hood trying to help this kid more than anything else, and then just like
kind of not failing, but
just skewing the situation.
Yeah. Art's great.
Yeah,
Art's great.
Sorry, did I split see you? Okay. One of my favorite things about DC books and why I read certain ones is the art, but it's mainly when it's just dark. Mm-hmm. Because often when you like read books about Gotham, like in this story, they always say how it's just always rainy, it's always gloomy and stuff. So I love when the art portrays that feeling, and that's why certain books that I read, I only read because the artists do it that way. Because I feel like that's how Gotham needs to be. It's just goth, like.
All right.
That's why I like a lot of stories, but this art was like fantastic and making me feel the severity of the situation, I guess, and like how heavy it was. Yeah. Because there's a lot of moving pieces.
Yeah. And then there's also a story about Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy that was really great. Art was also really great in it.
Yeah, I loved the panels, like the flashbacks and how they differed from like the present time. I agree with Champ. The art is fantastic.
Yeah, and then a Black Lightning Katana Metamorpho story, which was just like really fast paced and actiony, which was really fun. Once again, all of the art is great.
Yeah, the art is just real good.
This whole book is just full of like wonderful art. And then the last story is a Grifter story.
Our boy Grifter.
By Matthew Rosenberg, and it was also fun.
Yeah,
it's just like, I feel like, I don't know, I just don't know any of those characters well enough where it's like,
after reading the Grifter stories that he did in Dark Detective, I really like him, and I'd never read any Grifter. I had no idea who he was before. I was just like, Matthew Rosenberg, check. But this was fantastic, and I really enjoy him. The character. Also Matthew Rosenberg, but the characters who I'm talking about in this case. It's just good. There's just good, solid anthology of Gotham stories. It was just real good.
And it's gonna, I think, be more than, a few issues, so...
We are going to look into it because that is something we had discussed beforehand, and we didn't come up with a completely solid answer.
No, not at all.
Because DC is weird.
Yep.
Okay. So, my copies always come in, like, bent on the edge. So I have Luna. This is issue number 2. This is a Maria Lovett story. This is the story about the commune/cult with the man living in the cage. Luna discovers that the blood she was given in the first issue is like a drug of some sort, and now she has like a dependence to it. So she can't leave even if she wants to.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, and she finds a book that was written by one of, I guess, the former members or something who had discovered the man that was in the cave and was doing experiments on him. So she's kind of learning about that there is actually something in the cave and why she isn't allowed to go see it. She is snooping. Real snoopy over here. Despite the fact that all of these stories that Maria Lovitz does are like pretty similar, I do enjoy it because there's always something different about it. Like in this one, I just really want to meet the man in the cave because he seems to be able to communicate with her telepathically, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's because of the blood she was given or if there's something strange about this girl. But the art, I just love the art so much. That's the main reason I keep going back to Maria Lovett's arts, is because it's just so colorful and it's so bright. And even though there's blood and death and like tons of sex, it's like bright and happy. And that's just what I want in a fun, sexy murder book.
All right. Sounds about right.
Yeah. I just want to have a good time.
I just want to have a good time. That's why I'm here.
Yeah.
Okay, so I Breathe the Body, issue number 2, which is a good bad time.
Did that come out last week?
It came out like 2 weeks ago.
Okay, I couldn't remember.
I had to special order it because I was off FOC and stuff.
That's right. That makes sense.
This book is gross as fuck. So I just want to say that because it is bloody and just grotesque and great. But in a way that's just like, I don't know. It's nice because, you know, like, it's not like, I mean, it is kind of like a Saw movie where it's just like, why? But also just like, well, it's art, and it's also just weird.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
And like just very okay. Once again, very intense.
Yeah, his books are always so graphic, and I love it.
Yeah,
the body horror. It's like a weird Cronenberg shit. I love it.
No, like I told you earlier, I came out of this book and my brain was just like fucking destroyed. Mm-hmm. Just because the content of the book, like the story itself, is just it's heady and interesting and just kind of examines how people take in social media and how no matter how grotesque it is, they will just kind of feed into it, and they'll just continue to feed into it, and the people who are just like working for this system just kind of like float that in, and it's just
because we have no filters anymore. Like, we grew up watching people get decapitated on the internet, so like that kind of stuff isn't strange anymore, and we're just like, we need more.
Yeah, and I think it's playing into that, and it's playing into this idea of like capitalism and how capitalism also plays into that, and the people that can be used to like just further these influencers almost, you know, because it's not just influencers and just it's
social
a lot.
media is weird. Sorry, my brain just shut off for a minute because I was like, fuck influencers, and then I was like, what are we?
I don't know, we're not influencers by any means.
In my head we are. We're the best influencers. The kings of social media.
Okay. But yeah, it's a really great book. It's, like I said, really grotesque. I think it's something you have to kind of just like prepare yourself to get into, because yeah, it hits.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it hits hard too. Just like there's a lot going on. The characters are really well developed, and just the art is so good. The art and colors are so good.
Is that Andy McDonald? Is that who does the art?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Triona does the colors. It's so good. It's just so good. But like I said, it fucked me up. I finished it. I was like, I gotta go into something else because my brain just wants to die. Like I can't handle this right now. So, you know, and that's when I read this book.
Yeah, so let's do that, because now I'm like thinking about the first issue again and like remembering what happened.
It's a lot.
Yeah,
it's a lot. And also, this book, the first issue, does also deal with suicide.
Yeah.
So,
dang, that's like the theme.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So now we have The Last Witch.
This is a children's book.
Yeah, it's not about suicide. It's about a cute witch who is trying to defeat all the evil witches.
Her great aunts.
Yeah, I was
trying to take them all down because she's got the witch mark. So the first witch that she is going to kill is Brona. Yeah. I believe that's how you say her name. I am also terrible at correct pronunciations of Irish women's names. I always get them wrong. I think that's right. Yeah, that's
Brona,
what it's. Yeah,
if you're gonna go more.
But Saoirse is the tiny little witch, and she has more power than you would think. And she's trying to take this down. Graham and Brahms is like, we're leaving, peace, and then they just can't exactly leave. So a lot of stuff happens, but I really enjoy it. I think it's super cute. I love stories about witches.
Yeah, I really liked the art and the story a lot. That's like one of the things that it just reminds me of a cartoon I'd definitely watch when I was a kid. And the story is just like very, very interesting. I like all of the characters. Because I'm interested. The grandmother just wins out every time.
Yeah, I love stories that are like that. But I'm interested to, like, I'm probably going to Google it once we're done with this. Like, I'm going to see the similarities between, like, Irish mythology and how it, I don't know, it,
that would make
it
sense.
interacts with like the story and stuff. Because I know these characters are based off of like goddesses and like just people within mythology, but I just don't know like
who they are.
Yeah, and how similar they are in like the myths and like versus the story. So
well, and for me, like I also wasn't prepared to get into that until like one of these things, like this book or this issue particularly. And I guess I just didn't see. I mean, I just kind of like ordered that first issue, just like not knowing,
right?
And then I really enjoyed it quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, it is kind of heavy for like a kid's book, but it's still like lighthearted in a way because it's just watching this girl learn the extent of her powers and do it to help people. It's very enlightening, I guess. It's very inspiring. I wish I could be as good as she is.
Oh,
it's just nice. I love seeing people that just know what they need to do and do it despite the challenge.
I get that. Those are my favorite characters.
And on the opposite end,
I'll be right back as you try to fill in space.
So let me tell you about this book. I have not been reading much of it. I did read I got caught up, but I did not read this issue because I had 16 other books. And I just want to say they switched the artist. I can't remember where. It's been a few issues now, and I just don't know if I'm 100% on board with it. I still like the writing since Ryan Ferrier is doing it now. I think the story is very interesting still, but it's just hard to get into it because they just look so different. I just don't have much to say about this, and I wish Champ would hurry because I just... Like, look at this. Look at these tiny hands. It's just weird. I don't know. I didn't read this issue, so it could be good. I don't know how I'm supposed to fill the space right now. I'm just not good at doing this by myself. Last time this happened, I actually had things to talk about because I read the book, but I don't this time. Okay, here we go. We're back, baby.
Yeah.
Sorry. Messed up this friggin' book. Classic.
Okay, so I have Homesick Pilots. This is issue number 4. Story continues to be good. That's about all I'm gonna say. I really like the 80s kind of nostalgia. I do really like the art quite a bit. It's just, and the colors are just so bright. Lots and lots of blood. Lots and lots of blood.
We love a story with lots of blood.
Yeah. I am excited. I just want it to, like, find its place, though. Because it's been really good, but it's, like, at this point where it needs to, like, do it. Mm-hmm. Which I think it's, like, building up to, but it's kind of going too slowly and also too, like...
Right. Like, whatever's going to happen is going to happen in, like, the last chapter of the arc.
Yeah, but, like, and that's the thing, it's fine, but it's also just, like, the way things have been happening. It's just, like, the way it set up its story, it felt like it was going to go one way and it went another way, which I was happy about, but then it's like, okay, then this is just, like, just kind of, like, pick it up a little bit. Not that I don't like it still, it's just...
It's moving slower than you want it to for how good the story is.
Moving slower and faster than...
Okay.
Moving slower in the way that it's just like, well, you don't need to spend so much time doing this, but could you, like, build on these other aspects of it more so?
Okay. I get that.
Sense.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
And maybe it's just me missing something.
No, I don't think so. I've never read it myself, but I have read books like that where I just, like, truly enjoy it, but I'm like, I want more from it, even though it's giving me a lot.
Yeah, it's giving me a lot, but not exactly, I think, what I want.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about Nottingham. This is issue number 1.
I just decided I actually really do like this.
You just decided?
Well, because, you know, the art is weird. That is something that we have mentioned to each other about 3 or 4 times now. The art is very strange. It is very bloody, which I do enjoy. You know, I love a good blood soak. But it's just a retelling of Robin Hood, but the main character is a man hunting down the Hood. But I do really like the story. I just thought about it now because I was like, I actually had a lot of fun like reading it this morning.
Yeah, no, it was a good time.
Yeah.
It is so bloody. It's so violent.
Yeah.
Which was one of my favorite things.
The murder mystery aspect of it is the thing that I just realized. I was like, damn, that's actually a really cool twist to do on it. Especially like all the players that are pieces. I love how goofy and stupid the mask is that they wear because it reminds me of the guy, the V for Vendetta boy, which I'm like, I wish that this was like a big comic so that people would start wearing this mask so I would have another group of people to make fun of.
This is a book that got me like cover very much on the cover.
Yeah.
I was like,
yeah, this is so fun.
I was like, oh, Nottingham, huh? Okay. And then I looked at this list and I was like, all right. And then I saw the cover and I was like, yeah, I'm fucking in.
Yeah,
the
no.
cover makes me want to fucking buy this book 100%. I don't care.
That's exactly what happened to me too. And I was like, this book is full of redheads.
Yeah, I guess that's your dig.
Yeah, you know I love a good redhead.
Yeah, I forgot.
And there isn't a good one in here, but
I say, well, I mean,
there might be.
Kind of.
Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, okay, we're not going to go into killing rich people.
Just kill the rich. Just do it.
I suppose that is the one thing where I'm like, I suppose
What
not.
have rich people ever done for us?
Well, some rich people have done
Take them out. Take them out. Steal their money. So next we have autumnal.
This is issue number 6? 5.
5, yes.
Well, a lot happens.
Yeah, Mama. Why do I keep forgetting her
I
name?
know, I
just called her Mama.
I also just blinked out on her name.
What the heck? Why did I call her Mama? Oh my goodness. Okay, so
I'm just waiting for Carol to say her name.
I know, Kat.
Kat.
Okay, so Kat, the main character, is helping Carol, who was the only survivor of the fire from when she was younger. She's taking her to like a rehab facility essentially so that she can get happy and healthy. I don't know why I said happy. I meant to say sober. I'm saying all the wrong things.
I mean, happy and sober, kind
Yeah.
of like. This just basically like built upon the story that we've been set up. Our monster is here. Kat's figuring out why she's been called here. Once again, this does just hit all of those like very early 1970s vibes, I think.
I was just looking at that panel. I just
Yeah,
noticed
I love the little heart.
It was super cute.
It hits all of those, 1970s like horror movie vibes in a very, very good way. Just like both in art, colors, the story. It's so well developed. I have been really enjoying this book quite a bit. I just like, there are points where there's points where I'm like, oh, well, but in a way where I still understand that I like it. And I think it's just because these types of movies,
It's such a slow burn.
Yeah.
It reminds me of the Amityville horror, like the original one, how it just like moves
that's
slowly.
a really great way to describe it.
And then the end just kind of like explodes, and even then it's still kind of like a dull explosion.
Yeah. But
it's good. It's really good.
It's so good. And there is something to say about like that art and how it fits that tone and sells it the way it is. And yeah, it's so much. I just really like this book.
Yeah, it's really good.
It was a book I just didn't think I was gonna like, honestly.
It was only supposed to be 5, right? Originally, and because I know it's like at 8 now or something. I remember seeing more.
I don't care.
I don't either. I was just like, I was only
like,
supposed to be limited, like the Unkindness of Ravens.
Yeah, but see, this is that book you added to my pull file, so I have absolutely no idea. I have no clue.
I broke the system.
You broke the system.
Which has been my goal my entire life, is to break some sort of system. So I did it. Unfortunately, it had to be the pull box system, which they couldn't even figure out how I did it.
I don't know. If you and I are gonna break something, we're gonna fucking do it. Honestly.
We're just gonna confuse them.
Yeah.
They're going to be like, how did you even access this? Well, I don't know. I just put my email in. I thought that's what I was supposed to do. Whoops.
I will never forget being like, I don't think this is how we should do it.
said, fuck it. If it goes wrong, it goes wrong. You got a couple good books out of it.
I did. And this book I am the least mad about. It's, I love horror shit, and this definitely is a really great horror book.
Yeah, it's done very, very well. And I don't think I've ever read anything else by this writer that I can think of anyway. I'm going to have to look it up because now I'm curious.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
it's fantastic.
So good.
Okay.
All right. So now I have Rorschach.
A Rorschach.
This is issue number 6. At some point, we'll be done reading Rorschach, or I'll be done reading Rorschach.
Is there 12 or 9? I don't know why I assumed it was like, oh, it's going to be 9. Derek, you want to help us out here?
Yeah.
How many?
Derek, do you know how many issues Rorschach is? So this is chapter 6. This is Laura writing to Will, who is the author of Pontus Pirate.
Cute.
And the detective 12. It's 12 issues. Thanks, Derek.
Thank you. Dang it.
Come on, man. It's once again just trying to figure out who Rorschach is. I'm glad somebody loves it.
Sorry, I need to control my facial expressions. Yeah. I didn't mean to do that.
It's not that I don't love it. I don't love it. I like the art a lot. The story's like a big meh for me.
Chill.
I did like the setup. I like the way this particular issue was written, just because I like the back and forth in the letters quite a bit.
I like the first issue quite a bit. I did enjoy the way that it was set up. Mm-hmm. I didn't read any of the other ones.
Yeah, I did really like the letters between the two, and maybe just because I can relate to getting letters, Mm-hmm. I love letters, and I just really did like kind of the build up of the story. But I don't know. Maybe it's just because I, once again, just don't feel like it needs to take place in the Watchmen universe, so it just takes that aspect out of it for me.
Yeah,
personally.
Are you excited for it to be over? Well, I wouldn't say excited necessarily, but
I'm excited to know the mystery aspect of it, because I think this is one of the first Tom King mystery books I've gone into without knowing how it's gonna end.
Right.
I'm not trying to figure it out, and maybe it's usually because when I get this book, I have 15 other books to read, so I'm just kind of reading it to take it in, not to try to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But there's those parallels to real world stuff going on, and
it's a book you're reading.
It's a book I'm reading.
It sounds nice.
And I keep doing it, even though I've talked about not doing it anymore. But at this point, I'm halfway through.
Yeah, you might as well finish it.
Oh. Halfway there, oh,
living on a prayer. Brayden and I were just talking last night about how white people go crazy over Bon Jovi, and I just can't stop thinking about it because he mentioned living on a prayer. So,
we're not going to get into how much I hate Bon Jovi right now. So now we have Proctor Valley Road. This is issue number 1, little joint by Grant Morrison,
the Wizard.
And Alex Child, Naomi Francoise, and Tamara Bonvillain.
Yes.
And I guess you got Jim Campbell on the letters.
Yeah, this book I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot of fun.
I liked it.
And spooky. I also can relate to scaring boys for money to go to shows.
Well, that's cute.
I thought so.
And
by that I mean beating them up and taking their fucking milk money. It's mine.
I did like this little story about these ladies trying to make some money off some men. I did feel like it felt like there was a page missing in this book. I don't know. It just
At what point?
I'm trying to remember. I think the point,
I had some weird pages in here.
I think the point from here to, like, when they're on the ride here, maybe. There was just, like, a point where I was reading and it felt, like, off. It's just, the pacing in this book is very strange.
Yeah, it is, because it kind of jumps around a lot. Like, there's a lot of story going on. Mm-hmm. Like, you have an idea of, like, what these girls are trying to do, and then it's like, here's another group introduction, here's the girls originally, here's them meeting up, and now they're here. Yeah, so it was a lot of, like, jumping around different places. But
or it might have been the jump from the ride
when they get into the vehicle.
Yeah, the ride when they get into the vehicle, and then from, like, them being in the vehicle in the dark and then being, like, here.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Like, they just slammed on the gas and didn't look back.
Yeah, but I guess that makes sense.
I would do that too. Yeah. I would leave them behind.
Yeah, no shit.
You guys thinking you're going to grab a tit, get away from me.
It was a fun book, and the art was really great. I liked it a lot, and I am excited to see.
Oh yeah. We're all King Stans. Yeah. I was like, who's King Stan? But yes, that makes sense. Yeah. You are excited to see how the story develops? Who the monster is?
Yeah.
Very much
like,
so.
What's going on. And I like that idea of them, like, twisting it where they're running from Vietnam. I guess spoiler. Sorry.
Well, that's, like, essentially what it seems like.
I forgot all of my notes about Kitty Genovese that I was going to talk about during...
You wrote it on the napkin and everything!
Yeah. I really liked it. And I am really excited to see, like, where this mystery goes, because it does have, like, a weird Scooby-Doo feel at the same time.
Absolutely. I love that. I didn't even think about Scooby-Doo. Now I'm all excited again. I'm like, yeah, let's read Scooby-Doo. Okay.
So we're going to talk about Maiden.
This is a weird one.
A book that neither one of us necessarily understood, but in every world, men and women commit countless depraved atrocities against the innocent time and time again. The good, gentle, and honest suffer and die needlessly at the hands of monsters, who place themselves and their twisted desires above all and never expect to pay a price. But the wrong demanded retribution. Retribution.
I was like, damn, dude, you're doing great.
Yeah, you knew I was going to stumble. The defiled souls of the innocent scream for it, and the maiden rises in blood to answer their call. A powerful lord with a penchant for torture and murder takes a new bride, who is much more than what she seems. Summoned by hundreds of innocent souls, the maiden, a dark angel of vengeance, awaits him in their wedding bed. There's a bunch of big titties.
Yeah, big titties, like big old jugs, like all
just...
throughout the book, just hanging and slipping everywhere.
Yeah, so if you like tits, this is the book for you. 100%.
I am
as a fan
invested in this story because solely because of the titties.
As a fan of tits, I was into it.
Yeah. So, that's the first issue, is just tits and blood and innocent souls and the maiden. So we'll tell you what it's about when the next one comes out, maybe.
I mean, we're getting it.
Yeah,
so
we're getting it.
There'll probably be boobs in there too. Our next heavy metal book is Sun Eater. This is issue number 3.
3, yes.
3.
Our man puts on the wolf cloak, tears apart a woman, and then feeds a dog and eats it.
That's
all on his quest for vengeance, but there's no mention of vengeance in here.
I mean, that's a great description of everything, because I honestly cannot tell you how this particular issue played into this story.
Idea. But I loved this issue.
And it's only 3, this is only 3 issues. It's just like, this is like the most chaotic nonsense I've ever read. Art's great, though.
Yeah, no, the art was so fantastic in this book. Again, like, a lot of blood, a lot of gore, a body getting ripped in half. Like, you can see the spine. Perfect. A tree of hanging bodies. Love it. So,
yeah, no,
it was violent. I like the dog that talks back. I love that dog.
Yeah, that dog was great until he murdered it.
Yeah. I agree. Again, like with any story with just obscene violence, I'm invested. I need to know.
3 issues in, we need to know what happens.
I need to know what this story is even about. They told me, and I somewhat understand it, but I need a clear picture of what our man is trying to do.
I just don't know if we're going to get that.
Not with the way they're talking. No, they could have already explained everything, and I would not have known because I don't understand what they're saying to me.
I mean, the second issue was pretty straightforward.
Yeah, but this has nothing to do with it.
Yeah, that's why I'm so confused. And the first issue was just like literal nonsense.
I mean, maybe we missed something somewhere. Who knows?
Let's go back. Let's go back.
I'm going to go back and read all 3 issues again. Maybe then we won't be lost.
That's never the truth. This is Norse Mythology by Neil Gaiman. This is issue number 6.
Yes. This is one of my favorite stories in Norse mythology. I like the way that it was portrayed in this particular comic. Thor's hammer is missing. Loki ends up finding it. It was taken by one of the giants. The giant will give it back as long as he gets Freya's hand in marriage. Freya obviously is like, fuck you guys. I'm not doing shit for you. So they dress Thor up as the woman instead. It's cute. I love it. This version of it is just, it's so good. It had everything in it that I expected from the story. Mm-hmm. Loved the bright colors. Loved how cowardly Loki is. It's just fantastic. I love it.
It's funny because when Chris is playing God of War, they tell this story.
This is one of my favorites.
And it's funny because we had just finished reading the issue number 5, and it started with this story. Mm-hmm. And just because I know you, I know this story.
It's so good.
And so when he was telling, when the character was telling the story about Thor and dressing up and this whole thing, and I was just like...
Does that look like me?
Yeah, that's you. I, walked into the living room with Chris, and I was like, hey, because I was making food, because that's what I do. Hey. I was like, hey, I know this story.
Oh my god.
I was like, it's the next story I'm going to read in the Norse mythology book that I'm reading right now.
That's one of my favorite things to do when any kind of Norse myth is mentioned. I'm always just like, do you want me to tell you about that one? Because I can tell you all about it because I know that one. And everyone always says no.
All right, so now we have got Eternals.
Eternals.
This is issue number 3. This is just continuing the story, another mystery, but an Eternals mystery told by Kieran.
Yes, they are trying to recruit Thena.
Again, Asad Ribic's art so good. And then, with Matthew Wilson's colors, it's just
fantastic. Dream team. Mwah.
Yeah, just the way everything looks, the shadows, and it's great. It's great. This rain, the blues, the purple.
It's so
yellow,
good.
Yellow.
The faces.
Yeah.
His faces are one of my
favorite things.
Yeah, I can't, I was on the first page, I think there was a face that I was just like, what? Yeah. They just make me so happy. I love his faces. I was in such a bad mood earlier when I was reading this and I saw that face and I was like, wow, my life just turned upside down. I am better, 100%. This was beautiful.
Yeah. I really like that book, and I think, once again, even if you don't know the Eternals, it's a book that's, incredibly approachable just because every issue they introduce you to a new Eternal. They give you, their backstory or at least, some sort of information so you're not... Or, that... I guess descriptive adjective that is very determinate of who this person is supposed to be, so it's not hard to grasp.
Yeah, and it's not over explaining too much information where you just oh my god, I don't know why I need to know all this. It's just basically, hey, here's this character, this is why they're important, and there you go.
Yeah.
That's what I really enjoy about it because I'm a pretty simple guy. I like taking it easy and
lying back, smoking my weed pipe. I'm just a hobbit. Don't worry about it.
How did you know?
I'm also a hobbit.
So, yeah, that's right. Like calls to like.
All right, so we got Vampire Masquerade. This is issue number 6. Favorite issue so far.
Yeah. Cecily discovers that her child is pretty much not who she thinks her child is. So she is doing a little investigating, like she does. You get to learn more about her past a little bit. And just her kicking ass. Just doing what she does. Mm-hmm. I think she's a very tough character, and I love her. And then you get to know more about the Anarchs and, like, their history with Cecily and stuff, so.
Yeah, I liked a lot about this issue. I really liked the narration quite a bit, just, like, everything she had to say. I guess I liked the vampire hunter aspect of it.
Yeah, it was really cool.
I don't know, I think the art has grown on me.
Same.
Because I feel like it was something before that I wasn't, like... that wasn't hitting with me.
It's the faces, honestly. The colors work really well with it, and I think that's what turned me for it. I don't know, because the faces are just kind of... That's how, it's faces for me. Mm-hmm. And the faces in here are just kind of, like, a bit exaggerated, but not in the Assad Ribic way.
Yeah, I just feel like that first story arc, there was something, like, that I didn't enjoy about the art, and I don't know. Is it a different artist?
No, it's Howard and Howard still.
That's who. Are you serious? The Howards wrote the second story.
I know. I just think it's funny that they just put Howard and Howard on the. It was just funny to me. I thought it was
the
hilarious.
Howards?
Yeah, or Howard 2. I don't know.
Howard times 2.
Anyway, it's a great story.
Yeah, like I said, the art has really grown on me quite a bit. Like, it was something I wasn't sure about in the beginning.
We're just gonna keep talking. I'm just here to make myself laugh today. I don't know about any of you. This is Sea of Stars. This is about a father, a son, and a whole lot of space between them.
Dude, if they killed the character, I think they did, I'm a little upset.
The bird?
What? No. The whale.
Oh, okay. I was like, that's what I thought, but then I was like, wait a minute. I felt like the bird went missing at one point.
The bird is also missing.
Okay.
But
yes.
I've never seen my monkey so sad. My favorite character, one of my favorite
He's
characters.
like hugging him and everything.
Yeah. This particular issue was really shitty. And I think this next issue will wrap it up, yeah?
I believe so. I feel like that was the reason I didn't end up taking it off my poll, is because I was like, oh, it's almost done anyway.
Yeah. Because it's not a bad book. It is, once again, kind of a slow burn of a story and them trying to find each other. The art is so good.
Yeah, it is. I still have a very difficult time with the letters. I don't know why. There's just something about it that I'm just not really into. And I don't, not the letters so much, but like before, especially when it was like the narration, like those, I just
Well, and
didn't...
I mean this one too.
Yeah, it's strange, and I just don't know if I like it, but the story is enjoyable, the art is really good, the colors are fantastic, so it is a good story.
Yeah, I am just really interested to see how it wraps itself up and what happens, because I'm scared.
Mm-hmm. Because you saw Papa at the end?
Yeah, dude. And I just, like, I don't feel like Caden can't lose both his parents and his friends. And I don't know, man, I'm not ready.
He's a space boy now. He can do whatever he wants.
All right. So now we have Children of Adam. This is issue number 1. I just read this off the wall.
Yeah, and I just special ordered this. I didn't realize I had either. Because I even remember saying, like, I don't know why I didn't get that one. And then I ended up getting it. So... it's just about a group of people pretending to be X-Men that already exist. But I say pretending, I mean they are actually being them and like taking down the bad guys and stuff. They try to get recruited. Well, they try to get recruited. A few of the X-Men are like, hey, come to Krakoa. And the kids are like, nah, we're good. And then... Logan and Scott and Jean and Kurt and Storm have this nice long conversation about the kids and protecting them and stuff, so they might get recruited.
Yeah, I can't.
It was a weird story.
Yeah, I can't say that I loved this, unfortunately. I was, like, honestly kind of looking forward to it because I thought it was kind of an interesting, like I liked the way the characters looked. It's been a book that's been supposed to come out like a year ago.
Mm-hmm. I really enjoy the art.
Yeah, I like Vita's writing most of the time, but this was a book that I just I don't know, just couldn't get me, grasp me.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't feel like the hook was enough, I suppose, is I think one of the things. And it also just felt really, I don't know, just wasn't my gig, dog.
I think I am going to get the second issue because I am kind of curious to see what happens with these kids.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And then depending on how that goes, I don't know. I am glad I got this first one though because I did feel like it was interesting. It was an interesting
I do like that idea. I think for me, and I think this would be a really great a teen book or young adult book, but for me it's just I didn't like that teen aspect.
Right.
So for me it was just I guess I should, it's about fucking kids. So I should have known better.
No, it's not about fucking kids.
it's just about fucking kids.
Yes. Thank you. I just had to clarify that. That would have been a disaster.
That could have been a disaster, but it wasn't.
Crisis averted. It's fine. We're okay.
Yeah, it's just about teenagers, and I just, I don't know. I guess it's just not something I can necessarily relate to.
Champ was never a teenager.
I just grew into an adult.
Yeah. Yeah, Derek, I actually do, but I just never... Wait, Batman and... No, Derek.
Yeah, they're doing a Batman...
All I saw was Scooby, and I thought he meant the Scooby book, and I was yeah, of course I've heard about it.
They're doing a Batman Scooby-Doo book. I've thought about putting it on my poll several times, but once again, don't need to do that. No matter how much I love Batman and how much I love Scooby-Doo.
Sorry, I was just playing out the future in my head, and I saw me sitting on the couch reading it and just being really happy, so I think I'm going to have to add it. Okay, anyway.
Okay, so, yeah, that's it. That's all we got. It's Thursday. We've talked for, at least 45 minutes. Derek, thanks for hanging out with us today. You are the true MVP of this Thursday.
Thank you for answering our questions. Yeah, Derek, we should get that, all three of us, and we should have a book club where we discuss Scooby-Doo and Batman.
If only somebody just Venmo me $3.99 a month so I can get those books.
I got you. Don't worry.
Anyway.
I stole from the rich. It's yours.
Take care of one another. Look out for one another. Call your friends. Make sure you tell them how much you love them. Go buy comics. This world is on fire, no matter how much we don't think it is. And, comics just make it that much better. So, once again, love you. Take care of yourselves.
Yes.
Goodbye.
Take care of everyone. Kiss your friends.